a lot of people would not do that.
No.
When they going through that pain
not.
and that adversity,
No.
they drop everything.
Everything.
What made you say, I'm gonna show up anyway?
My mental health is the reason why I was in the gym, because it strengthened my mental health. It kept me clear, kept me motivated, kept me grounded for the most part, you know? So if I didn't stay in there, I don't know where I'd be. And so even though I was sad, I was upset, I was mad and everything else, I still stayed in the gym. With my shirts, I did fuck the rules. Everybody was like, what is this? It wasn't bad publicity, because everybody was like, wait, hold on, you got these what shirts? Because this guy was like posting about it and making all this stuff, you know? And I was like, no, that saying was just to the business and art and what I was doing. Like, there's no rules to what I'm doing. Like, I could do all this. You can see it works.
Guess how many people right now are not creating content because they worried about being judged?
Oh my God.
Guess how many people are not chasing their dreams because they worried about, you know, their name being judged? You're like, who cares, man? Yo, what's up, y'all? My name is Selah. Welcome back to the Champions Club with Selah Brooks. I'm here with my homie, Chris Oliver.
What's up, guys?
Man, he's with Infinite Signs. And so, man, we've been following each other's journey for quite a while. And this is actually our first time sitting down, man. And I think timing is everything. And so we got a jam-packed conversation, a lot of knowledge, a lot of information. And so, man, bro, I appreciate you for being on the show.
Yes, good to be here, man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. So, man, like I said, we've been following each other's journey. And now I just felt like the right time to talk, you know.
It was, absolutely.
Man, you've been going through stuff, I've been going through stuff, and man, our paths just have met.
Yes.
And so again, thank you, bro, for coming on to the show.
No, thank you for having me, man.
Absolutely, bro. So, Infinite Signs.
Yes.
When I first came across like you in the area, you automatically stood out because I don't like super like professional, stiff people.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
for sure.
You know? And so I was like,
absolutely.
man, this dude seemed cool. And I just remembered following you on TikTok.
Yeah.
And I love the personality, how you wasn't afraid to be yourself. I've been following your workout journey, different things like that.
Thank you.
But man, talk to me like, so for our guests, like I said, I always try to schedule this and make these like master classes. You've been in the sign game for 10 years, you know? And for that person that's sitting on their couch that want to get into something and, you know, get away from a 9-to-5 job and start a business.
Right.
Why do you think getting into the sign game is important, and what would you tell that person to get started?
Well, for me, art was my thing in school, so that like transitioned, you know, and also I come from construction and painting, so that kind of helped me get into that field, you know.
Yeah.
But I did teach myself scroll saw, so that was like a big thing, you know, so just cutting the wood out and doing all that, you know. Obviously CNC machines took over, but you know, just people love that more rustic look, and so it still holds, you know. But yeah, for someone that wants to do it, I mean, find your passion. What are you good at? What do you want to do? And then just go into it. So I literally locked myself in the garage for the first 3 years and was just making all types of stuff. I don't know what was going to sell, but we're going to make something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it started with the wall art. It started with furniture. And then it was hard because I couldn't transition that into like sales, you know, like because a lot of people like different things. Like I can't make a bunch of Cubs logos and then, you know, people don't really like Cubs, you know, they like socks or something.
Yeah.
So you're sitting with all this inventory, you don't know what to do with, you know? So I was like, what can I do that I know people would want? And that's what I transitioned into their personal signs. And then I digitally created some signs and logos for them that I can transition into wood art, you know, so, and making 3D wood signs and everything else, so.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. So this is actually a question I was gonna ask you, and I think it's dope because, you know, that you self-taught. And that's what I was gonna ask you. Do you feel like somebody needs to have experience or background in this to get started, or can you be self-taught and still see success in it?
I mean, that's where the drive comes in. You know, like for my period in time, starting the business and being in the gym all started at once. Like I was just in a period of my life where like the partying and everything else wasn't fun anymore. I was like, I want to do something that's not this, you know?
Yeah.
And what can I do that's going to be different? Well, let's start a business. Let's start eating right. Let's start, you know, stop drinking. Let's stop smoking. Let's do all these things, get sober. So 10 years of sobriety, 10 years in the business, all went together, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So even in the gym, there's days I didn't want to be there. And it wasn't just, you know, just the motivation anymore. It was the discipline. It's like, discipline, I have to be here, you know? So that was the same thing with the business. Like, there's days I didn't want to do this anymore. There's days I wasn't making money.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? But the discipline kept me there, and it brought me to places I didn't even think I could go, you know? Like shipping all around the United States, you know, and shipping to other big podcasts and big people, showing them their signs, you know? I mean, it was a big thing, so.
Dude, so what I'm hearing is like the discipline. Discipline most definitely kept you in it.
Yes.
So do you feel like you can have success in what you do without the discipline side? Because
man, that's hard.
Because I like when you say discipline, like I see the videos that you put,
Right.
the results that you got, not only for your business, but in your body, like in your fitness.
Absolutely, yeah.
You can't get that without discipline.
Right. Yeah, and you can't buy that either. You know what I mean? So it shows that you did the work. You put in that time, you get it done. You know?
Yeah.
So whether it's the business or in the gym, you can see that without having to say anything. You know?
Yeah.
Like, wow, he really like dialed in. He got those signs right. You know what I mean? Like, look at them now. You know?
Right.
If you look back to my early stuff, it's like so cringe. It's like, oh my god, what is this?
Yeah.
Now, but I was selling it. That's what was weird. I was selling that thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
But now it's just like, whoa, what are you doing, man?
Yeah. So you talk about you being sober for 10 years, which is huge.
Yeah.
A lot of people won't come on the podcast and say that, bro.
No.
Right.
No.
And so now it's another element of something that you had to overcome.
Right.
And I have people in my family that struggle with drugs and
sure. Yeah, for sure.
drinking, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But look at you now.
Yeah, right.
Right. So what would you say to your younger self, like right now, bro? Because that's
I only started sooner. That's the only thing. Yeah. If I would have just jumped right out of high school, because right out of high school I went to airbrushing, which was like a small stint of my time. But I did it for a couple of years. It was really cool. We did airbrushing. So I mean, but I never picked it back up after that.
Yeah.
Which is weird. So I probably could right now, even with the science stuff. But it sits in the corner, and I always look at it. I'm like, man, I wonder if I airbrush this. If something like that could happen.
Yeah.
But then I stopped and got into the partying and everything else of life and just working and whatever else. So, man, if I could just go back and say, hey, man, do this, do that. I couldn't only imagine where I could be now.
So I think when you're in that moment, how did you? Like, I know you said that you did the transition into the business and stuff, but was it like a defining moment where you was like, okay, this got to stop, and I just need to focus my attention on something else? Or did you just wake up one day and was like, man, F it, I'm tired?
Yeah, well, no, it was like we were partying. I got into like a car accident. I wasn't seriously injured or nothing. My neck kind of hurt. I went to the hospital, and they were more worried about my weight, and my A1C was like crazy high. They're like, we think you're diabetic. And I'm like, really? And it kind of scared me for a second. I'm like, because I never thought about that, So I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes, and that instantly became my jump off point. I'm like, I'm not doing this no more. I didn't know I can destroy my body like that from something I was just doing, which I thought we're just having fun, whatever, partying, drinking, eating, you know what I'm saying? But I was at my biggest weight, like, I don't know, 270 or something like at the time, So I was like, yeah, this is my jump off point. And at the same time, I was like, I want to do something different with business, you know what I mean? Like, let's start a business. Let's just, and we hashed it out in the living room one day and said, this is what I was going to do. And we're going to make these shirts and stuff too. And everybody's like, okay, man, why don't you just focus on the wood stuff? But then the Midwest AF shirts came out and, and all that stuff. So, so.
Dude, that's dope.
So that was like the whole thing.
And congratulations on that, man. Yeah. And it seemed like, the business just, you didn't have anything else to do at the time. Like, so you just shifted and focused. Because a lot of times, when people are dealing with, trying to get sober, it's not the actual busy time. That's the problem. It's the downtime, bro. Like, man, I'm bored. I need something to do. You know what I'm saying? So, you can't stay, you like having a business kept you busy.
Yep.
And then the discipline kicked in and all the new routines and habits, bro. So congrats.
Yeah, no.
And so, all right. So
I filled that void big time.
for sure, man. So you take yourself and you said you locked yourself in a garage for 3 years.
Yep.
Talk to me about that growing process of, I'm going to sit here, get better, and improve. And then when I step out, I'm about to be something totally different and sell.
Oh, man. It was the process. I love that process because I can't remember who it was. It was like a recording artist, but he had no windows in his recording room. He just liked it because you never no concept of time, Like, so I did the same thing. I have no windows in the garage. I didn't know if it was light or not, whatever. So I just worked, and just kept going at it. But I kept designing these different things, and then I would post about it, and people think we were awesome, and I just kept going at it. And I knew I was developing something, but I just didn't know what it was going to turn into. You know what I mean? So like, I just kept with the process, but like, at the same time, I said I was filling that void. You know what I mean? Without going out and being sober or being drunk and all this other stuff and hanging out with friends. Because I lost a ton of friends during that process too.
You're gonna lose a bunch of friends.
Yeah, so they're like, nah, we ain't hanging with this guy no more. He's boring. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I was finding my own company at the time. You know what I mean? So I said, I'm going to do something that's going to be great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, those 3 years, I wish I could go back to them because I feel like I took it for granted almost, you know what I mean? Because I don't know, it went by so quickly. The next thing I know, I was doing shows down in the art district and stuff like that. Literally my first show was Zach Baker. He let me sit up outside of his store there, but it was right on the sidewalk. And I just put art with LED lights right on the sidewalk, and everybody was like, "Wow, look at this!" And then it wasn't like maybe 3 or 4 years later, I did Uptown Lofts, I think it was.
Yeah, okay.
And I had a big setup inside there, and everybody thought I was from Chicago. Like I had all these LED lights, but
Yeah.
you could see that my stuff has grown tremendously, and it was like more dialed in. But it wasn't the 3D art yet. It was just all prints and stuff like that. I was hand painting and stuff like that. So. Yeah, everybody thought I was from Chicago. They didn't think I was from here. I was like, no, I'm from city, you know, like born and raised, you know.
But just your stuff was so good, they thought you ain't no way he from here.
Yeah,
like,
there's no way.
Yeah.
So then that really progressed my following then, you know, and then everything transitions after that. That's why I went in and started dialing on people's business signs because you can't go wrong with that. So,
nah, and I think it's still essential. Like, so I used to be a marketing and sales rep, and people would say, man, do I need a website or da da da?
Right.
Bro, you need all of it,
Right?
right? And what I would tell people is like, man, the way that I would pick which businesses to go into, I would look at their signs, bro.
Oh yeah, for
you
sure.
know, like if your sign is like it's nice and it's bright, like that means I need people. You know, like but if your sign like run down and like raggedy, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm going to the next one.
Well, because you can use Canva now and stuff, so it's so simple to make something. But you know, what I mean? With my first impressions are everything. So I was like, I get dressed for the day, and you never know who you're gonna run into. And I feel the same way about someone's sign. Like that's your first impression.
Especially of the business, you walk up and the signage is butt. It's like poo-poo, like bro, like what are you doing?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like I that's why I always admire what you do, and I think you bring an element of like fun. You know what I mean? And then like it's this realness about like who you are.
Yeah.
And I bought into the person.
Oh,
as opposed to the skill. You know?
Yeah. No, I like that.
Yeah. And so so for the people that's trying to get into what you do, like the sign industry, how did you go about getting your first clients? Like. And trying to acquire that, because you done locked yourself in the garage, right?
Yep.
You came out.
Oh yeah.
And you're doing your thing.
Yeah.
How did you go get your first clients, bro?
I can tell you, just be yourself, man. Just be yourself. Put yourself out there as you. Don't fake it till you make it type thing. Just be you. Be authentic and do your thing. You know, if it's gonna grab, it's gonna grab. But the realness of being you is the most important thing. You know.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it has to be organic all the way through. You know.
I love the answer because sometimes I feel like we always look for a magic strategy.
Yep.
This magic approach. Hey, you need to do this and ChatGPT, AI, all these new things.
Yeah, right.
And one thing I think is dope that you said that is because what I teach in my classes, like for the personal brand, bro, we think our business is the reason why people give us money.
Right.
Our business is not the reason why people give us money.
No.
People give us money because of us.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
For sure.
Because like, for example, like I rent photo booths, right?
Yep.
People rent, they rent me, they rent Selah. Because if you take me away, and you just search photo booth near me, you got all these photo booths, right? These, they can go anywhere and get it.
Right, for sure.
But the people who rent from me, they don't go anywhere. The people that buy from you, they don't go anywhere. They go to you.
Right, for sure.
So sometimes the magic strategy is just be yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
And because if people don't like you, they're not gonna buy from you anyway.
That's true too.
You know what I mean? Like, and I think we forget that sometimes because we see, on social media, everybody share wins. Whether it's certain businesses, you see the big projects that they get, and you think that they have this inside trade secret or some secret information.
Right.
Bro, what if that person is just the best at being themselves?
Right, for sure.
And that's how they get
all
it.
it is, yeah. And you got to post those fails too. That's that's important too. So there's times I posted my fails where I messed up something, but also at the same time, I'm a perfectionist, so like nothing left that shop unless it was like 1,000% doubted. You know what I mean? Like I just made sure that every time, and that was a big thing too because I have 5-star reviews across everything. Yeah. Nobody's ever gave me a bad review because I always make sure I took care of the customer because they're getting a one of a kind sign. Right. So I want to make sure you don't have to come back. You know what I mean? Like, there's no problems.
Yeah,
So that was important to me too.
So let me ask you this, man. Like when you got your clients, you say you go out there, you be yourself. I think your social media side of your business is really great compared to like if you go look at people what you do locally. It's not that good.
Right.
And I'm not dissing them, but it's like. It's all about the product. Like they just before and afters. Exactly.
Yeah, there's nothing in there going, even with the Michael Myers thing, that was just like a little side thing my son loved. Yeah. He's like, hey, I want you to do this. And then, okay, let's do it. And then we made a viral video out of it, you know what I mean? So it was cool.
Which I seen that.
But then it transitioned into me being him in the shop working on the signs. So people love that too. It's like Michael Myers making a sign. What's going on here?
Yeah. Because that's not what he do.
No, that's not what he does, but it's funny.
Yeah.
So it works,
And I was looking at that, bro. I thought it was freaking hilarious, bro. Like I was looking at this, and I just want to say, like, your creativity. Yeah. You take that and you put it on social media.
Right.
Where did you get that from? Like, cause some people, they do what the industry do, and you're doing the complete opposite.
Right.
You know, is that like who you are, or is that just
that's just who I am?
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That's just who I am. I love to make people laugh. That's a big part of it. Like laughter is my love language. You know, at any level. So I love doing that, and my family, my kids, they all love it too. You know, so like I don't know. It's just like I said, organic. It's natural. It's who I am. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So when it comes to selling, right? Like I feel like you said, it's more of a you being you type of approach.
Yeah.
How has that directly correlated to more business for you? Because I want to double down.
Right.
Anybody that's watching at home,
Yeah.
Because sometimes people think we're, you know, like it's not special about me, you know, or I'm not a fun like, you know, my wife would get mad at me because when we went to high school together, bro, I would get certain perks because I was me.
Okay.
You know, like the fun, funny.
For sure.
What if they're not funny?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What if they're extrovert,
Right.
whatever? Like, what would you say to them where they can still go out and get business based off the sell yourself model?
Well, you gotta believe in your product. So you gotta believe in your product and what you're doing. So if you believe in that, that's half the battle right there. The rest is just a strategy on like sales, like how are you gonna win that client over? What are they looking for? What are their needs? You know what I mean? So you got to really dial into that and like you just show that you care. Like, you know what I mean? Like just don't go out there and like try to make that sale. Like, listen, it's this amount and I can get you this right now. Just sign right here. You know what I mean? Like, don't do any of that. You know what I mean? Like, and that's just how it is because like I look at it, you're getting a one of a kind sign. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take care of you and what you need. Like, what colors do you like? How big do you want it? You know, where's this going? Show me, and then I'll even go look at the space, you know, and come up with an idea that, you know, works for them, you know, and it shows that you care and that you're taking their sign like personally, you know what I mean? It's not just a sale, you know.
Yeah.
So that was important too, you know.
So
I wasn't chasing the money.
There we go.
You know?
I was gonna ask. Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you have problems with trying to go from, like, you know, business to customer to B2B? Because a lot of times when people get started, they you know, they do sell to, you know, individuals, you know, moms, friends.
Right.
You know, it's my brother, but then you shifted to the business and going directly to there. Like, was that a hard transition for you?
No, it wasn't hard. No, not
Okay.
at all. It was a lot of word of mouth though for a long time, and then once I started like with the social media thing, I started realizing like, oh, I can promote these and boost these videos out, and that's when stuff started like, you know, people around from Chicago and Michigan and everybody else started seeing that, you know, even like during COVID, that was my biggest time because we had all the Chicago people here, you know, with the rentals or whatever that was. But yeah, so I had all types of people coming here and they were buying signs from me, which was the biggest business time I ever had was in COVID, you know, because everybody was at home, you know, so it was weird, but it was all Chicago people too at the same time, you know, so.
So when it comes to the pricing side, a lot of people struggle with pricing.
Right.
And you said, don't go chasing the money.
Right.
And, you know, so what was your I don't want to say strategy or philosophy, but like when you started to put together your pricing, did you struggle with people always trying to lowball you or whatever?
No,
No,
not at all. No, not at all. Because it was such a personal, one of a kind sign that I felt at times I was underselling myself just to get the sale because I wanted that out there in the world and I wanted that content too. And that may have helped. It may have worked at some point. But there was a period where I stopped and looked at that and I said, I could be here. Because I started looking into other people, especially on Instagram, that were doing the same thing I'm doing.
Right.
And I'm saying, how much are you getting for that? You know what I mean? And then that's when I started setting the bar a little bit higher. And without question, I was getting double now of what I was almost getting before, you know?
Right.
And then I also offered in like A-firms so people could make payments, which was a big thing, you know? So that was a huge, you know, boost for my sales too, you know?
Do you feel like when it comes to not only sales, but pricing, that is like somebody's reflection of their self-value?
For sure. Yeah. Know your worth. You know, absolutely.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Know your worth.
That's
man.
crazy, man. Because
like, if I wouldn't have did the time, I wouldn't have known like how long it takes to produce this sign. You know what I mean? So I kind of look at that like, how many hours is this going to take, you know, to build? And you can start seeing that once you get, you know, doing them enough, you know. And I'm like, yeah, well, this is a little bit more detailed. This is going to take X amount of hours, you know. I know I got a lot of sanding to do, a lot of painting to do. Then you got, you know, variations with the humidity. So, you know, like, you know, you can mess up paint, you know, stuff like that happens. But you think about all that. And yeah, I mean, it's worth it. If you start down in knowing your worth, you know exactly what your pricing will be, you know?
You know, I think that's the reason I said it was so crazy because in a way, I've also been struggling with that, you know, because right now, like with the economy, man, it's butt.
It is
not,
absolutely.
It's not good.
It is
absolutely.
Everybody's struggling out here.
Yeah. And so I was like, you know, I actually raised my prices this year in January. I lost a lot of clients, bro.
Right, for sure.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and I was like, dude, this is crazy because the increase, like for example, one client probably like $400, you know, a $400 increase.
Right.
Man, I did their event so well. Got so many compliments, so many
Nice.
kudos after the event.
Nice.
And then I was like, you know, we actually talking about a $400 decision.
Right, yeah.
Surely y'all have to, if y'all told me I did such a great job, you guys think I'm worth $400.
Right.
Block.
Oh,
Ghosted
no.
me,
Oh,
right?
no.
And
That's the
so
worst.
I was really scared. And so now, you know, I raised my prices and I kind of been standing firm on that.
Yeah.
But then I was like, man, dude, do I take something because something better than nothing? You know what I mean?
Right,
like,
for sure.
So this is next year will be my 4th year. And I'm like, man, you know, I want to be done with being in the season of saying yes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so maybe
Right.
I got to take a page out of your book, bro.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And then think like, hey, I'm like myself value, and then just you know.
You know your worth. But there's times though when I have people that message me and I'll ask them like, because I know it's coming down to like, oh, this is gonna be too much for you. I say, what does your budget look like? You know what I mean? And they'll give me like some number, and I'm like, I can nowhere come near that. You know what I mean? Because like I think like a sheet of plywood used to be $40.
Right.
It's now almost $100. You know what I mean? It's like it's my materials that I buy that are doubled. You know, because of the economy. It's not because of my worth. You know what I mean? Because I know my worth. I'm still going to pay myself at the end of the day. But
Yeah.
it's the, you know, the product value that's went up. You know, which like makes it hard for a lot of people out here. Even food and everything else. People that are doing small businesses. I don't know how they're doing it, but yeah, I feel for a lot of them because you know, the economy's crazy right now.
Man,
you know what I mean?
So look, I got this new car, right?
Yeah.
And I was driving it one time, and I needed some gas, bro. And I was like, all right, straight, you know. So I go get some gas. And I just got used to putting in the dirty 30. You see what I'm saying? Putting the $30 in there. And man, I pulled up and I put the gas in my car. And I look, I'm like, oh, bro, like usually it would be like kind of towards the F, almost towards full.
Yeah.
Man, it's like half a tank,
Yeah,
right?
that's all you get.
So I'm on the phone with my wife, dog.
no.
And I'm like, man, I don't think this car good on gas.
Yeah, no.
Then I looked at the prices on the board.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, it ain't my car ain't good on gas. Gas ain't good on gas, bro. This is bad, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah. And this is where I realized I said, okay, like, you know, as a man, you know, you gotta provide, right?
Absolutely.
And so like every time that I leave my house, I'm going like photo booth events, 4 hours. Like you booking me for 4 hours. I'm gonna spend easily an 8-hour day.
Absolutely.
Right? Because I got to show up 2 hours before, you know, set up.
Yep.
I got to do the event for 4 hours. Everybody dip. Me and a DJ breaking down and still, you know, and then I got to drive the hour back, easily 8 hours. So I was like, man, if I got to leave to go hunting, I can't keep coming back with these little fish.
Yeah, right.
I got to come back with a woolly mammoth, something that's like worth something, you know?
Absolutely, man.
And so like, man, and you saying that to me is starting to open my eyes. It's like, man, you know, I got to value myself more. I got to value my time more because, man, like you said, time goes by fast.
Yeah.
So when I'm looking at it, I'm like, man, I could have, you know, been chilling at my house for 8 hours because when I go to do these events, I don't feel fulfilled, bro.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, I feel like I'm slaving, but I'm like, now I'm in a season where it's like, no, like 2026, I'm like, man, I'm done with this. Yeah,
right.
Man, so I appreciate the insight, bro. It's
Absolutely,
like
man.
you know, I came here to interview you. You giving game to me.
I'm giving you
like,
some, give you some gold nuggets.
Yeah, man. So, but let's get real, man. So you know, like I said, we both kind of been going through things when it comes to the life side, bro.
Yeah.
And you know, whatever you don't want to talk about, but I know you said that you stepping back into your business.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what was that season like for you, man? Like, if you want to share anything, like when you were going through.
Yeah.
Because I try to make it real. You know, when people watch the podcast,
right,
somebody's going through the same thing.
Right.
And I want to make episodes that people say, hey, man, since you were the only episode on YouTube that I found talking about this, and this changed my life, man. So what was that like that time? What was it like for you, man?
And you know, it was a difficult period. You know, I stepped away from the business because of family stuff, you know, so I stepped away from it and I stopped promoting it so much, and then, you know, just went and picked up like 2-3 jobs, you know what I mean? So I'm working like 3 jobs plus the business, you know, that I'm just kind of slowly doing, but I'm working my way back into it, you know. But it was hard because you have to step back and kind of focus on yourself. And that's where I'm at right now. I found myself into it in this process, and I found somebody I didn't even know existed. So it's amazing, you know what I mean? But everybody goes through, you know, trials and tribulations in life, you know, whatever it is, divorce, you know, whatever you're going through. For me, I think everything happens for a reason. I needed this. So I might become this bigger, better, stronger person that I didn't even know existed because I don't even know who I am right now, but I love this person, you know what I mean? I love sitting with it, I'm content with it, I love being by myself sometimes, and it's fine with that. So I know the business and what I can do, I built that, and it's not gonna change. I can go in that shop right now and make you a sign. So it wasn't so sad to step away from it. I just knew I built that, and it's gonna sit on the back burner for a minute because I need to take care of me first, you know?
Man.
And that was the most important of this whole process.
That's powerful. Like
on top of the discipline of staying in the gym, I didn't miss a day. You know what I mean? So even though I was sad, I was upset, I was mad, and everything else, I still stayed in the gym because of the discipline over the years. You know what I mean? So that was what was important.
let's talk about that.
Yeah.
A lot of people would not do that.
Nope.
When they going through that pain
not.
and that adversity,
No.
they drop everything.
Everything.
What made you say, I'm gonna show up anyway? What was the mindset? What was your mentality?
Oh, man, I mean, because I put in all that work, you know what I mean? So I like with the business, I know that's not going to change. You know, I can go make a sign in time. But my mental health is the reason why I was in the gym, because it strengthened my mental health. It kept me clear, kept me motivated, kept me grounded for the most part, you know? So if I didn't stay in there, I don't know where I'd be.
Yeah.
Because there'd be times I was thinking like, man, what am I going to do? You know, like, man, well, let's just go back to the bar. You know what I mean? Why not? You know, be social, you know, because nobody's doing this. You know, nobody's like sitting in the gym on a Saturday night. But there is, you know, there is people, but, you know what I mean? But everybody wants to stay with the herd. Everybody wants to go, you know, this way, but they don't want to be the lone wolf and stay over here and keep discipline. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, so it's tough, man. It's tough. So you deal with that. But I was like, nah, I can't go back to the bar, man. I'm not doing that lifestyle anymore, you know? I didn't come this far just to come this far, you know?
Right.
So
that's dope, bro. And I'll tell you this. So during the season where my dad actually kicked me out and I was sleeping in my car, I was 19.
yeah.
I had a gym membership. You know, I ended up getting me a little job. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
to me, not only the gym, it provides so many things, bro.
Yeah.
Like it was shelter.
Yep.
You know, like man, it was cold in my car. I'm going to the gym.
Absolutely.
You know, like I might as well work out while I'm
Take
here.
a hot shower. Yeah.
Bro, I was there 3 times a day.
Nice.
You see what I'm saying? I would wake up, I would go to the gym.
Nice.
You know what I mean? When I would go to the library, I put out a bunch of job applications. I would go to the gym.
Yep.
You know, before I went to bed, I would go to the gym.
Yeah.
And to me, like you said, like it builds up that mental thing, but it almost felt like a safe place. And
Oh, yeah.
me personally, I've been through so much. When I go to the gym, I'm mad, I'm pissed off.
Yeah, right.
Right. And I'm thinking, I was like, you know what? Like everybody who doubting me, anybody who looking at me like, oh, like saying I'm not gonna be anything.
Right.
I'm about to prove everybody wrong. And when I come across the block, you're not gonna want to be on the same side of the street as me.
For sure.
I'm about to, you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm in here to become a beast.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna go out there and be beasting on people. You see what I'm saying? And like that was my mindset. Like I'm about to
I feel that, man.
Yeah,
I
I
was
was
the
like,
same way.
yeah, because sometimes the world is so ferocious.
It is.
You have to grow teeth.
Yep.
But it don't have to be like, you know, you go put violence and anger out into the world.
Oh.
I'm about to be the best me that I can be, and I'm about to work on myself, and I'm gonna dominate everybody because I know if somebody went through the same situation as me, they ain't gonna make it.
No.
So it actually, and I actually be like, when people will be throwing crap, I'm like, man, bro, if you did this,
Right.
you would not make it if
Right.
you've been through my situation, bro.
Absolutely,
You would
I
get
feel the
scraped.
same way, yeah.
Yeah. So you doing this, bro? It's like bringing back memories for me because I understand when it's like, man, you know, you don't really have any direction. You know what I mean? You don't really feel like people are in your corner.
Right.
You know, and like it's almost like the world and everybody is betting on you to lose
Swear.
or to revert back to what you was.
Yeah, they want you to go back.
They want you to go back.
Yeah.
And I was like,
The misery loves company.
yeah. I was like, nah, bro, I'm not gonna lose. Like, and so, you know, and through then, once you power through that, bro, you will see some sort of sign of success. But to you just said, like, you don't know who you are right now, but you love the person that you are.
Right.
That's huge.
And that for me right now is the process. And that's what a lot of people keep skipping. They keep skipping the process. Everybody I know wants to join the gym because they see me in the gym. They're like, man, I want to join the gym. And they come, and they do like maybe a week or 2 weeks, and like, nah, I ain't doing this, man. Like, this is too much. This is too much work. You know what I mean? Like, what do you mean? And I was like, bro, I've been here for 10 years. And I nearly quit on me in 2 weeks. But they want, everyone wants everything right now. You know what I mean? They don't want to put in the process. And so for me right now, finding myself and being who I am and being grounded, I'm in that process. I'm loving every minute of it.
What's your workout like? What's some of your regimens, bro?
Oh man, so I do like splits, you know what I mean? So it'd
Okay.
be like if I'm doing shoulders, I'll do biceps, or if I do legs, I'll do abs, you know.
Yeah.
So I'll split it up, but yeah, I'm a monster when I'm in there. I'm so dialed in. So people like they don't want to talk to me, but literally I'll give you a pro tip. I'm listening to Taylor Swift, and I'm I'm a big teddy bear, you know what I mean? So you come up and hug me, and I'm telling you, I'm a Swiftie fan. So it's kind of messed up, but yeah, everyone's
dude,
like,
you over here just like yeah,
listen to Taylor Swift.
And you got Taylor Swift.
Yes,
That's funny.
it's a whole
bro.
thing, man. So yeah.
So how many days a week you go?
You know, if I do 7, I do 7, man. But at the minimum, I'll do 6 to 5. You know what I mean? Just depends on my schedule, but yeah.
So is it one time a day, 2 times?
One time a day, yeah. I'll get in
Okay.
there because Michigan City was closed, so I've been going to report. So I kind of didn't put in my days, you know. But they just opened back up, so I'm excited. I'm ready to go there. Probably go there right after I leave here. So
Yeah, right. Just get put in
I'm
that
ready
work.
to go.
Do you feel like your mentality in the gym, like just competing with yourself, you know, the disciplines, showing up, that mentality actually translate into business success?
Yes.
Yeah?
The discipline. Like, I can't stress that enough, because I feel like it just transitions over, because you know that discipline there, and to have that, you know, just like kind of segue into your business, like, you know, that discipline can be there too, you know what I mean? It's just a different perspective of looking at it, you know, so.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Man,
absolutely.
bro, you about to make me go back on the workout.
I swear, man, I don't know.
Yeah, man.
But mentally, to get clear, you know what I mean? Like, that's a big part of it too, man. So like, just to clear my mind and everything else, you know, it's almost like going to church, you know?
Yeah.
It's like just getting your mind right, you know what I mean? So for me, it helps me, and it got me through a lot of difficult times, you know?
That's what's up.
But yeah.
Dude, you just punched me in the face with information and knowledge, and it got my brain running, because man, you know, you never know what a conversation is going to unveil, right? Like, you know, like I said, I just talk to business owners and we chop it up, but everybody has, you know, their own story. And this is why, like, when I was thinking of like the Champions Club, when I wanted to do a podcast, actually, I've been writing this on my paper, like in a notebook, for a year.
Nice.
A whole entire year. Like, I will make $100K with the Champions Club podcast, right? And, you know, now everything is coming into fruition, and I get to see everybody's like mindset, you know. But what it comes down to, bro, is you do have to make a decision for your life, because you know, like I talk to business owners, but a lot of times what I want people to get out of this is the mindset people have,
for sure, their
mentality behind their decisions. Like, don't just make a decision, have an intention behind that decision, right? And so, like, what you're saying is like, okay, you know, I'm going through stuff, family stuff, it's a lot. I'm gonna be planted here. Right. And it's gonna be so much growth and transformation for me going to the gym, but my discipline, that I'm not gonna lose on the other end.
For sure.
That is, to me, like, bro, that's super powerful. And that's what the Champions Club is about. It's like, you know, like, for somebody, dude, I've been homeless. I've been broke a bunch of times, you see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, this year I dealt with the people stealing my business name, and I had to shut down my entire business.
That's crazy.
It's like, people, they will fold, dog, because their whole life, a lot of times people been given, or they've been sheltered and they don't know how to battle through adversity.
Right, for sure.
People like us, bro, we are the people that we're supposed to be hanging around. Yeah, like I said, everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason.
Timing and everything. But when you said that you felt like it happened to you for a reason, the reason was so you can be who you are right now. Right. And the thing that I was just telling my buddy is like, bro, this new version of you is going to go out there and bless people.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, you're going to run into somebody and you're going to know what they're going through.
And I was already Mr. Positive, so people already know me as that. You know, especially my gym videos and stuff like that. I was trying to help people, but there was a time with that I even stepped away because I was putting so much into that and trying to get people to go to the gym and see you can live a different life. Nobody wants to do it until they're ready.
Right.
You can't do that. And that's what I realized. Like, it doesn't matter how much you put out there. Nobody's going to do it until they're ready. You know
people only do things because they feel like it.
And that's where it comes back to valuing your time. You know what I mean? So I used a lot of that time to get people to get motivated, but they weren't ready. You know what I mean? So I stepped back and said, you know what, I'm just going to be a little bit more myself and just do things that I feel is right, and not just, hey, you need to get in the gym, fuck your couch, or something like that. You know, if I used to say that aloud.
So you lost friends, bro. Right? You're going to lose
childhood friends at that, you know what I mean?
Dang,
that was the hard one, man, yeah. They were childhood friends. I mean, we're still friends to this day, but it's not like it was, you know what I mean? But yeah, I lost a lot of people in my life.
So,
but don't get me wrong, I met an amazing amount of people in my life.
Dope.
Like, the amount of business owners that I have connections with that I made signs for. I mean, I was literally talking to one on the way here, and they were just congratulate me on my process and my journey and everything else. You know what I mean? So, and they reach out to me. So it's like people like that. Like during this whole transition, I had a team of people just in my corner that I didn't even know were my team. They just showed up. So when they seen I was going through something, these people showed up in my inbox and they never left. They just kept, you know, hey, are you good? You know, everything's going on, you know, and these are all these people and customers and business owners that I just met throughout the years because, you know, like just having that following, you know what I mean? They just reached out to me. So it was amazing. It was amazing just to build that, you know, community with people, you know?
Dude, I went through something similar as far as like, cause when I left the other marketing company, you know, I took a bunch of clients with me.
Yeah.
They came. I ain't, you know, put a gun in their head and made them come. Like, hey, yeah, because again, like I sold myself. They bought me and they came with me.
That's what's up,
man, dude. And so the new company I was working for, they laid everybody off in 6 months. So I don't have a job.
Yeah.
Right. And then like my rent went up. You know, car payment. I still had that. I burned through all my savings, gas, groceries. That stuff spiked. So I was broke, bro. Zeros in all of the accounts. And when I had the photo booth, it wasn't even unboxed yet. And so I was reaching out to people, like my network, and nobody was answering the phone. And I figured out it was because I was getting blackballed because the previous company was throwing so much dirt on my name. Nobody wanted to rent my photo booth. So I don't have a network. And I was like, as I started going through that season, what I realized was a lot of the people that I thought liked me actually didn't even like me. It was all fake. Because like, growing up in the hood and from Cleveland, bro, like Black people are super direct. Like, if we don't like you, we'll tell you. For sure. You ain't got to ask. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's on site, right? Yeah. But when it comes to business, a lot of people, they are used to smiling in your face, you know, and making it seem good, feel good. Yeah. And when you leave, they're like, oh, man, fuck that dude. You know what I mean? So it's like,
how is that going to benefit? How are you going to benefit me? You know?
Exactly. A lot of takers are not givers. And so, you know, and through that process, I actually did lose people that we was friends, you know? Yeah. And the reason I'm mentioning that is because you're gonna go through a season where you know you kind of have to get away from that. God will literally show you I thought all these people was friends. Everybody was snakes. Yeah. Absolutely. All these people when I came in the room, what's up, bro? When I left, they hated me. Yeah. And it wasn't because it was me personally. It was because like I was so good at what I did. You know, they didn't like the success that I was having at a young age. They didn't like, you know, my trajectory. And they felt threatened by me. And I didn't see it. Bro, I was 20. I don't, you know, like, but now, and it's like, you know, and I feel like during that season, they almost stole my joy, man. Like, I'm right now finding myself again in a way because, you know, I used to be happy-go-lucky, but now when I come into a room, I'm more observant and I'm watching body language and stuff like that. And I'm picking up on little things. And it kind of helps me deter myself from certain people. Yeah. But it's like, man, I don't want to have to I'm just about to be happy in my space. If you don't like me, cool. If you like me, cool. It don't bother me. Yeah. You know, and so like I appreciate you for sharing that because I've been going through that, bro. You know, and so like trying to, you know, build a business with no network is extremely difficult, and that's why I started, you know, learning social media and doing all that stuff. It was hard, dog. You know, and I feel like it's almost a philosophy of mine that I have. If you want something to come into your life, something has to leave. Yep. Right? Like, I don't know why, but it has to be this balance almost. And it's like, let's imagine, like, if you hold a certain amount of things, you can only hold what you can hold. Right? So, like, for example, for you, if you want fitness in your life, you know, bad habits, drinking, smoking, bad food, it has to leave. It has to leave. You know, if you want a wife, your joints got to leave. If you want a husband, the joints got to, well, if you want something to come in, things have to leave, right? Absolutely. And so the new people that came into my life during that season, I cherished them, bro. Oh, yeah. Like you said, I didn't even know. I know you had a team. I know exactly what you mean. Same. And it's like 5 people. Yeah, right. All these other people, they had to leave because it's no space. It's like a universal law, almost like when it's dope. And I know, like, from what you're saying, you went through that too. Yep. You went through that too, man. Yeah. Dude, and sometimes, bro, it's for the better. It is. Yeah. I mean, it is. And even though sometimes it can be upsetting, but if you believe in that everything happens for a reason, then you know something good is going to happen from this, you know? So, you know, and even on what we're talking about, like, you know, there's no bad publicity. You're going to have stuff, you know what I mean? Stuff's going to happen. People are going to try to trash your name and everything else. I used to not like that, but now I almost embrace it. You know what I mean? Because there is no bad publicity. If you're talking about me, it's going to put my name out there some way or another. You know? So they're going to be like, who is this guy? Wait, hold on. You do what? You know, you make these signs. So, like, you know, you have haters. You know, they're going to come and go like that. Yeah. But, yeah, and I think that's one thing I always respected about you, like, you know, watching from afar. you don't care what people think. You know what I mean?
But I do. There was a time I do. And
Okay.
There was a time I do though. Don't get me wrong. I did do that, but it was a hard transition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I did kind of care at night
Okay.
when I thought about things. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
from the outside perspective, yeah, maybe it doesn't look like that.
Well,
but
because you just
yeah.
you so authentically yourself. Like that's
Absolutely.
what I mean. Like when you show up, bro, I've only seen you been you. You know what I mean? And like
that's true.
I always respected that. So it's like, because usually when you go to business, bro, they want to tell you what business look like. You know what I mean? Like you got to wear this, you got to wear that.
For sure.
You know, all these different things. And so like even with me, bro, being a black dude, I'll be the only black dude in the room. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so like I'll be dapping people up, fist bumping
for
them.
sure.
And one person told me, he's like, man, that's not really professional. I was like, So this is what I do, right? And so, like you said, bro, you go.
Yeah, I'm wearing Michael Myers outfits here next
yeah, right. Yeah,
like, what are you doing here?
You literally, to me, like, bro, you bringing into a certain industry, or just an area of authenticity, bro.
That's like with my shirts, I did fuck the rules. Everybody was like, "What is this about?" And I was like, they thought it was like an anti-government thing or something like that. Which this guy in Michigan City like made this whole stink about it, but it wasn't bad publicity because everybody's like, "Wait, hold on, you got these what shirts?" Because this guy was like posting about it, making all this stuff, you know. And I was like, no, that saying was just to the business and art and what I was doing. Like, there's no rules to what I'm doing. Like, I could do all this. And you can see it works.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's what it was, and that's how that happened, you know? So
yeah, but it's just like, again, nobody would do that, bro.
No.
Do you know that some people are so afraid of bad publicity or so afraid
oh my God, it's crazy.
that it stops them? And I think, I mean, this was also great podcast content because guess how many people right now are not creating content because they worried about being judged?
Oh my God.
Guess how many people are not chasing their dreams because they worried about, you know, their name being judged? You're like, who cares, man? Like, dude, like when I started doing this, you know, like when I started in sales, I always used to think that because, you know, like my bosses, which they're like 40-year-old white dudes, which is cool, you know. But they will show up in like dress clothes. I thought I had to do that because that was the way to be professional. I mean, I did that for like 4 years.
Yeah.
I don't really like dress clothes like that.
Yeah, right. I don't like this.
And then I started to realize, you know what, man, this is not even making me money.
Right.
You know, like people, they're not saying, oh, he got dress clothes, let's pay him.
Yeah.
They don't care.
They don't care.
Bro, what do you know?
Right.
Can you help me? Are you good at what you do? You know what I mean? Like, do I like you? Do I relate to you?
Right.
And I was like, I'm gonna focus on that. So even when I go do my presentations, I don't wear dress clothes.
Yeah, that's nice.
Dude, like I'm trying to step into like who I am.
You're authentic.
And my authentic, like, which I feel like I do that a lot. Like I try to be as real as possible. But when it comes to like, you know, let's say if I got to present on stage, I'm like, man, do I need to button my style up a little bit? Do I need to make it more professional?
Right.
And I was like, that ain't been getting me paid so far.
Right. Yeah. So
if it ain't stopped me from making money, you know.
Yeah.
So let me ask you, man. You know, like you say you're bringing back the business and you're trying to, you know, get everything going. So like, what do you got coming next? Like, is there an action plan behind this or?
No really action plan. I just know I'm ready to step back into what I was doing. I may just redevelop a couple of designs I've been working on that I think that works, but I need to compare or compete with the CNC world because the CNC world has taken over everything, you know. So it's so easy just to plug and play print, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, there's some things I want to get out there, and I'm, you know, just might get back into the shop and just make something and say, hey, look, check this out, you know.
When you say compete with the CNC world, like what do you use to make your sign?
I just use a regular like hand scroll saw. It's a you know, DeWalt scroll saw. So you can you gotta cut and you gotta move. So the timing takes a little bit longer where you can just like plug in the CNC and just cuts it all out and you're done, you know?
Yeah.
But you still gotta do the other work, you know, like sand and paint and all that other stuff. But yeah, but there's a lot of designs you just can't get because I have those layers, you know what I mean, with the 3D wood art, you know, that you can't get with the LEDs and all that stuff. So and nobody I know even around here is doing that type of work, you know. So
when it comes to the CNC side of things, like, is there something that's making you stand out? Where because it's almost like my industry with ChatGPT and AI.
Yeah.
Like, is it like the CNC stuff is advancing so much, or is it like you're just saying, hey, if I got to compete with him, I just maybe focus on like better. How do you want to put it? Better quality, maybe, or like, like what's your advantage?
Because a lot of people don't even believe my stuff is wood. They think it's like steel
snap.
or something.
For real?
Like yeah, they think it's like something else. Like there's no way that's wood. You know, even if I showed you a picture, they're like, people always say, nah, it's not wood. Like, yeah, no, it's all wood.
It's all wood?
Yeah. So
okay, I didn't even know. I look at your content quite often. I didn't even know it's wood.
yeah. So I think the rustic side of it, just like when you do look at it, the rustic and how it's like I don't know, for lack of better words, it's like a cookie cutter with CNC. It's like so cookie cutter. Like it's just like, oh, it's clean.
Yeah.
It's clean, but it doesn't have that flair. You know what I mean? It doesn't have that, it doesn't have a guy in the shop dancing making your video.
Got you.
Like, hey, did you see that video of that sign he's making? He's dancing on my wood. So it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. It's so personal. So it's, yeah.
It's almost the same as like, you got I guess like fast food and then a home cooked meal.
Right.
Takes more time.
That's it, man.
You know what I mean? But you putting that little flavor, that sauce, the love in it.
Right.
It tastes better. Yeah.
Absolutely, man.
So like when people are looking at your products, I'm guessing they see that, like the attention to detail, and it almost sounds like are you making like custom pieces, and then you're not doing any of the stock stuff when people I do a bunch of designs, I got them in stock, and I put them online and people buy them, they buy them, or you just say, hey bro, what do you want, and then you just custom make it.
Yeah, I have a very small on my website where you can like get American flags. Those have always been a seller, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So you can get American flag if you want. They're really cool.
Yeah.
They're rustic looking, battle worn, type style, but. Even showing like the guy I work with now at Legacy Signs, like I just cold called the CEO one day. I said, hey, are you hiring? And he said, well, what do you do? I said, I've been making signs for 10 years. He's like, you got a website? I said, sure. And I showed him my website, and he was like, wow, and then brought another guy, the VIP guy in, and they were looking at it, and like they were really impressed with it. And he's like, you know what? We're gonna be probably expanding in like 3 or 4 months. We'll give you a call. So I was like, all right, cool, no problem. Just thought I'd walk in, check it out. It wasn't even 3 hours later, I got a phone call from him saying, hey, you know what, we thought about it. We want to take you on an apprenticeship and see what you can do. And so
you said are they hiring like to work there?
They weren't even hiring. I just called this guy and said, hey man, listen, I make signs. I'm not doing what I want to do in my sign business. Are you looking for someone that needs help? You know what I mean? Like just signs and stuff like that. So yeah.
You know what? So check this out. Since I've been selling in this area for a long time, I actually met them, Legacy Sign Group.
Oh, sweet, nice.
Yeah. So I know, I forgot her name, but she works a lot of like the operations.
Megan, maybe.
Megan, yeah, bro, so, big dog. She dope, man.
Okay, yeah, Megan's awesome.
And so I remember going in there, and this is like my first time selling, I think like year 2. Okay. And I was nervous, bro. Yeah. Like going in there, I did so bad at the pitch. My pitch was not good. Like I just didn't do good. Right. And the guy that runs it, he was in there. Sean, there we go. Yep. Yeah, he was in there, and he was like, "Hey, man, I can tell you're new, and you got this, man. You just keep it up." Oh yeah. I was like, well, "Really?" Because I didn't do that good, man. He's like, "It's all right, man. Everybody got to start somewhere." For sure. Since then, man, he always been good in my book. That's what's up, know what I mean? Yeah. Like, cause they're good people. They're good people. Yeah. Somebody like you that said, "Hey, are you hiring? I do signs." You got a lot of people who are haters and gatekeepers. Oh yeah. They won't hire you. For sure. They don't like, nah, we're good. You know what I mean? No. But the fact that they look at you and actually taking the time to look at your work, you know what I mean, calling you back, hiring you on, and giving you an apprenticeship, bro, like that lets you know, like, man, there's still good people out here who's not like everybody's against them or trying to start a business. Like they're helping people.
They're a small business, and it's amazing because even after I got in, they did like a meet and greet where we all went in the conference room and they said, hey, this is the new guy, and who are you? What do you do? So it was nice to see that, tight knit, family, man, because like you're not going to get that in a big business,
No, they don't care.
You don't care. You're just no number or whatever, So yeah.
Go show up to work. Yeah. Do your job, go home. Yeah. So I mean, are you still there with them?
I'm still there. Yeah. No, I'm still there with them. Yeah. So I'm doing like I said 3 jobs plus my business, so it's 4 jobs. So I'm working everywhere, man. Yeah. But, so I just started in and. They want to bring me on full time, so like I was telling you earlier, man, they said I did more in 2 weeks than people have done in years, which is amazing. So, I definitely know what I'm doing. It's a different process, but it's still the same thing.
I always think that, again, time and everything happens for a reason. Sure. But I actually like this for you because you get to learn from people who are really great at what they do. They have an established business. And one, you're going to be able to sharpen your skills, but a lot of stuff you're going to be able to learn as well, like business, right? You know what I mean? Maybe operation side of things, like, you just be able to get that experience. Absolutely. And then, there's going to be a season where, bro, you're like a butterfly, you're like a social eagle, you're ready to fly. Yep. And they're actually helping you do that. I think so. Essentially, you know what I mean? So. And so, like, and I think.
Because there's a few people there with side hustles that work on, like, different signs on the side after work and stuff like that, and they're all for it and stuff. So it's like there's no like hey, you can't do this. So it's nice.
And I think as a season things can pass, and it don't have to be no smoke, man. Right. No. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, bro, like, I wish that would have happened to me. Honestly, like the people that I was working for, like, bro, y'all gave me a job when I was sleeping in my car. Right. I'm thankful, I'm appreciative.
Right.
But when I'm ready to transition, man, don't put a gun in my don't put a gun in the back of my head. You know what I'm saying? Like,
that's horrible.
like, you know, it's like, and the thing is too, is like, but I think the world, man, we gotta start going back to just trying to help people.
Yeah.
Because, man, if you really looked at it, bro, it's like, man, even if I left, you know, and the clients came to come with me, like, I can't help that. Right. You know, like, now things was going down, and I just was honest. Hey, look, this is what happened. Right. But if anything, if you need anything, I'm over here. I don't have to go. They want to work with me anyway. You see what I'm saying? Right. But if it ended well, I'd just be like, nah, man. You know, I ain't gonna touch your food, bro. That's your food. Right. Because as a salesperson, I don't need to be harvesting on. I can go anywhere, bro. Put me on any block, and I'm gonna make money. Yeah. Period. You know. Yeah. And so I'm happy for you, man. I think that's gonna be dope, man. And so I'm looking forward to seeing like your journey. Yeah. Thank you. You know what comes
I'm
next.
I'm looking forward
to
it also.
Yeah, man. Because like, dude, you got some powerful stuff, man. And like, I've been paying attention. I've been watching, dude. And
same, man. I've been doing the same for you. I've been feeling for you, and a couple things you went through, man. So I felt like we were like on the same. You know,
yeah, it was honestly, it was gonna happen.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah. So I reached out to you. I was like, man, let's do something. You know what I mean? Because I just feel like we're here, and why not? You know.
Yeah, bro. And so I just appreciate, man, again, your authenticity, you know, your hustle. Now I understand like your story and like what you've been through, like your mentality to stay grounded and like working out and your discipline, like not letting that fade. Because when hard times come in, depression comes in. Bro, people, they just unravel, bro. It's just like they go down a spiral of destruction. Yeah. And you're like, nah, man, I'm not doing that. I got so much respect for that. I know people that's viewing this is going through that. Bro, you're gonna be able to bless other people.
I hope so. I hope so.
Because that's powerful, dog. Yeah, like I'm always getting goosebumps thinking about it.
I got a little right now. So I mean, it is what it is, man. Because I love my journey. I love my story. You know what I mean? And it's still unwritten. And I usually plan ahead. Yeah. And that's the most amazing thing right now is I step back and I'm just taking in the days. You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing today. I'm being grounded today. And I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, you know, it's awesome now.
Dude, my dad used to say, we'll deal with tomorrow.
That's right.
When it comes.
Yeah. Now I understand that.
We'll deal with it when it gets.
I used to stress about a week ahead. You know? Like, what am I doing, you know?
Dude, one day at a time, man. Yeah. So, last thing, bro. For the people that's watching, you know, what would be your final words to them to just watch this and then say, get started? You know, what would you tell those people that's still on the fence?
Man, just chase it. Just go after it, man. If you want something bad enough, you got to put in the work and the time and just stay in the process. I can't stress that enough. Like the process is where you grow, you learn, you find yourself and what you're going to become. So like, just don't get into it and think it's all going to work out and you're going to get all this money or whatever's going to happen in the end. Because it's not. You're going to fail quickly. Just stay in the process. I can only stress that so much. The process is where you grow.
That's fire, man.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's all the thing I've learned.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Well, I got this tradition.
Yes.
Welcome to the Champions Club.
Thanks, man.
Man,
Appreciate it.
Once a champion, once a member, always a member.
Appreciate you.
So, man, I'm excited for you, bro. And then this is not going to be the last.
For you too.
Appreciate it, bro. This ain't going to be the last podcast, man. Okay. We're going to. You know, when you get everything going and everything is clicking on all cylinders, bro, I would love to have you back and kind of do a little update.
Get you a little sign or something.
We're gonna get something going, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool, bro. Yo,
right,
thank you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
Shoot, that's a wrap, dog.
All right.